My name is Coach Chip Baker. And first, I want to say thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to be here with you at the Breakfast of Champions breakfast. I want to say thanks to Coach Stan, Mr. Standard, for giving me this special opportunity. I know, first off, uh, people are guarded who they put around their students and the education environment. And so I'm so thankful that Coach Stan thinks enough of me to have me come and talk to you guys this morning. Um, I was scheduled to be there in person, but I had a hip replacement surgery about a week ago, and so I'm actually not walking just yet. And so, uh, but from my end, I wanted to make sure that I fulfill my obligation and keep my word because, just like I said, first off, if somebody thinks enough of me to speak to amazing students, well, then I got to do my part and do the best of my ability to make sure that I fulfill my obligation. So I do apologize for you that it is a recording, but also I'm thankful for the opportunity to speak with you, and I hope that you enjoy it. I want to tell you, great job on being champions. Um, I know that those things don't just happen. It requires lots. It requires lots of work. It requires lots of putting in the maximum effort. And so, in order to be champions, you have to be doing things the right way. And so, I want to commend you on that. Commend you students as well as commend you parents because and teachers because it takes a team effort to create champions. And so I know that it's a great thing. And so again, congratulations on your awards and congratulations on all the great things that you are doing, students. I want to tell you a little bit about me so you have an idea of uh, who I am. But my name is Coach Chip Baker. I'm a teacher coach. I've been in education. This is my 20th year to be in education. Um, I'm a fourth generation educator, so I've been blessed and fortunate to be raised by some great people um, that strive to make big differences in our world. And so I've been, blessed to be around some great people and learn some great things. And so that's a little bit about me. I've taught everything under the special education umbrella. I've coached football, powerlifting, and track, and I currently coach at Oak Ridge High School. But today, the topic that I want to talk to you about is successful habits that will help you be successful in all areas of your life. And just like I mentioned to you earlier, to become champions, it takes lots of effort and lots of work. But what I want you to understand is that the same things that you've done to be successful so far in your life are the same things that will carry you throughout your life. And so, you just have to, be aware of what those principles are, be aware of those actions and things that you take, because truly, if you just continue to do those things throughout your life, you will live a successful life. Um, no matter what age, no matter what environment you're in, no matter what you're doing, simple principles, simple things, uh, ordinary things, when you do them over a period of time, allow you to achieve extraordinary things. So you just have to be aware of that and continue to do that. I'm a simple guy. I'm a routine, habit kind of guy, simple formula, if you will, kind of guy. But I truly believe that successful habits um, create successful routines. Successful routines uh, creates consistency within your life, and then consistency brings about trust. And trust, others trust you because they see that you're consistent. But more than that, you develop self trust uh, because you've proven to yourself that you can overcome challenges consistently. And it puts you, it gives you momentum to where you continue to achieve great things, and you continue to learn from their experiences, and you continue to be on a roll uh, because you're aware of what's going on. And it all starts with your successful habits. So I'd like to tell you a story about a guy. that was in my life growing up. And, about me growing up as a youngster, I grew up, my parents separated when I was 4 years old. I grew up in a small hometown. And so growing up, I was involved in lots. I played sports. Growing up in high school, I played 4 sports for 4 years. Um, I was involved in lots in the church, a lot of activities in the school. Um, went on to college to play college football, and then uh, went into teaching and coaching. But there was a guy in my town growing up that was a real big role model for me, and his name was Mr. Norris McDaniel. Um, he was my little league baseball coach. He was my elementary school principal. He ended up being the superintendent of our schools in my town. He had a son, and we were classmates, and we were really close. So he was like my second father, but just a great man to look up to, a great man to be a model. But growing up, I always tried to work hard. Uh, I always tried to treat people right. I try to do things the right way, and I try to surround myself with the right people. And then it was big to me to give service and pay it forward and help others. And so, Mr. McDaniel, fast forward when I graduated from college, I applied for my first job, which was at Peak Junior High here in Conroe ISD. And of course, me being fresh out of college, of course, there was lots of people that had more experience than me. I don't even know if I was the most qualified, if you will, but Mr. McDaniel was one of my references, and so I didn't know this, but the principal that was hiring, he knew Mr. McDaniel, and he had done some work under him when he was working on his master's and some of his works through Texas A&M. And so uh, Mr. McDaniel gave me a great reference. He told him, if that guy's a good guy, you need to give him an opportunity. And so the principal, he did. He gave me an opportunity there for my first job at Peak Junior High. From that reference, which in essence, allowed me to have my first teaching and coaching job, which in essence allowed me to, be able to be around some great people in Conroe ISD and learn some great things to help me be better. I eventually got my master's degree, uh, but I wouldn't have received any of those opportunities if I hadn't chosen to be the person that I explained to you about, uh, earlier, what I strive to be. And so that brings me back to the successful habits that'll help you be successful in all areas of your life. I think, like I said, I just strive to work hard. To be a champion, you have to work hard to be a champion. And I strive to be that in my life. And there's a quote that says, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And so if you work hard, uh, you'll be you'll get those opportunities. As far as competition wise, you'll be better than any talented person because you're working harder than them. And I think, effort counts. The second thing is uh, the golden rule, and growing up in my elementary school classes, I remember seeing, and you have the rules when you go in the room, you see all the rules on the wall and all of those things, posters. But in every elementary school or room that I had, I remember seeing the same exact, and it looked a little different, but it was the same poster, but it was the golden rule. And it says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And so I think that's another habit that will allow you to be successful, because basically you get what you give. If you treat people the right way, you'll get that same care and love. You'll receive that back, just like Mr. McDaniel saw in me, which gave me that reference. The next thing is uh, do right. I think I had an opportunity to be athletic director and head coach in my hometown for a little while. And, basically I had two rules. I explained to them, rule number one, do right. You know, Rule number 2, see rule number 1, do right. And I think that takes care of a lot of things in your life. You know the difference between right and wrong. We've all been taught right and wrong, and to me, I think it's always the right time to do the right thing. And you have to understand that our success in our life is a culmination of the little choices and decisions that we make to do things the right way each day, and it's just stacked, okay, over time. And each opportunity gives you your next opportunity. If I hadn't strive to be a good guy, if I hadn't strived to do things the right way, Mr. McDaniel wouldn't have given me that reference for my first job. And so, um, like I said, each opportunity gives you your next opportunity. So, in you doing things the right way now and continuing to do things the right way now and every day and making good choices and being responsible and being respectful. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Doing what your parents tell you to do, doing what your teachers tell you to do all the time, and being consistent with it, that gives you opportunities down the road. Just like in my life, just like I said, if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have gotten my first teaching and coaching job. But bigger than that, I wouldn't be Coach Chip Baker, which will allow me to be here to speak with you today if I hadn't chosen to do things right when I was a young guy. And so it's always the right time to do the right thing. So just continue to do things the right way and know that it's worth it for you. Even when, some people around you may not be doing the right thing, it's important to continue to do the right thing, because guess who that benefits? It benefits you. The next successful habit is surrounding yourself with the right people that are making good decisions and have big goals and dreams. Your environment is important. What you're around is important. What that does is it ensures that you're always pushing yourself to be the best version of yourself. And also it puts you in a situation to where you don't have any pressure to make bad choices, because everybody around you is doing great things. Well, guess what? If like I got to step up, if they're doing great, I gotta be better, And so you always want to make sure you surround yourself with the right people, because I know you've all heard, iron sharpens iron. Well, I got one better. Vibranium sharpens vibranium. And so if you're around great people, guess what? You get better. And then the last, and there's a quote, and this is big to me. I don't know if I mentioned that. I grew up single parent, so there were some tough things that I faced growing up. A lot of those things I don't really talk about a lot. A lot of pains, but those things that I've learned and gone through have helped me be the best version of myself, and it's helped me learn. It's helped me relate to students that are going through tough things, because I know the pain. I know what it feels like, and I've been there. So there's a quote that's big for me, and I have this on my desk, every desk that I've had. It says, "I learn to give not because I have much, but because I know exactly how it feels to have nothing." And so it's important to give service. It's important to uh, reach back and help others. Once you've learned something, once you have achieved some things, or even if you haven't, if you're in the process, it's always somebody that can use help. And I think you get those things in return when you strive to do things the right way and help others. The big man looks out for you and makes sure that you're okay. So, in conclusion, uh, the things that the successful habits that will help you be successful in all areas of your life. And like I said, it doesn't matter the age, it doesn't matter what environment you're in. I think if you can do these things, it'll allow you to continue to be successful, because you're already champions. You're already champions. You know what it takes. You just have to have self-awareness to remember, hey, each day I have to be consistent about doing these things. I think you have to work hard. You've got to treat people right. You've got to do things the right way. You've got to surround yourself with the right people. And the big thing is give service, give back, help someone. So again, thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate the opportunity. Again, I apologize that I'm not there in person because of my hip replacement surgery. But again, I wanted to fulfill my obligation. And so uh, continue to do things the right way. Continue to be a champion. Go get it.
Go get it.